Hello and welcome back, everybody. As I said last time, we are going to get the Moonpool and all that done, and then we are going to head out to that island. But there was also a second relay message that came in while I was gathering resources, so we might as well grab both these real quick. Life pod 4. Pod has sustained no damage, no crew members have disembarked, 0 life signs detected on board. That's kind of strange. Do we have a second one? Maybe? Did it pop up 2 pods without saying anything? No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, because that's our pod. That's the pod that just showed up. Huh. Maybe it was just reminding me that I had one. Okay. Well, anyway. So, real quick. Actually, let me just get in here for some air so I can show you something real quick. This might not look like much, but for your information, just kind of before I do this, just so you can kind of get an idea, there are multiple things sitting in my inventory right now. First of which, of course, is the Moonpool itself, which is kind of its own room. It's really, really cool. We will show you that in a second. I also gathered what we needed for vehicle modification station, as well as 2 new modules for our lovely little Seamoth here. So, we are going to show you that real quick now. And I might have to come back later and add even more solar panels, because I don't think we're going to end up doing anything more than that for this base. But, does that work? I think that works. Yeah, that should work. It'll connect up right there. And what's cool about these, you can come in on the sides or on the, like on all 4 sides. Like there's multiple points where you can come in at. And it'll work regardless. And actually, let's show you guys how this works. So we can actually park our little Seamoth right inside this bad boy. And as soon as you get close, it'll kind of automatically attach it. And it will also, see we're at 96% energy right now. It is going to fully charge it as soon as we get it in here. Bam! That is awesome, right? Alright, now for the vehicle upgrade station. We can put it on a bunch of different spots, but we might as well put it right here. That way we can actually like look at our Seamoth while we're doing stuff to it. And then, as I said before, I went ahead and got us what we needed for hull reinforcement, as well as something else I thought would be cool to try out. I didn't get this before, but looks really, really handy. It's going to save us a lot on worrying about power cells. So that is fantastic. And we can also upgrade this bad boy now. Now, I'm just going to name this after what I did the first time. If any of you can come up with a super creative, awesome name, we can come back and change it at any time thanks to this lovely console. But every time I look at this submersible, it reminds me of the South Park episode. Where James Cameron raises the bar from the Mariana Trench. So we're going to roll with that. And it makes it really easy to spot if you just go like crazy loud colors, just because a lot of the areas are dark. So I like to just make it like this weird technicolor mess. But it really ends up working out, believe it or not. Now we'll save red for the interior, so we'll go with a crazy green stripe, and then our red interior. And we are done. Look at that. That is fantastic. We'll go ahead and stuff these modules in real quick before we get started. 1, 2. Just to show you guys how it connects to the base. Super easy little jog up here, up to our front room. Went and added a lab just so we could set this thing on top of it. I don't think we can actually do anything with that, but it's a thing. These plant pots are what we're going to put our starter plants in from the island, because the island gives you some of the things from the farming update that allow you to actually grow food consistently while you're here, which will save us a lot on these kind of more consumable items. We'll go ahead and grab a little bit. Well, actually, once we get there, there's food on the island. So we'll go ahead and just roll out with what we have for now. And of course, as usual, I have a bunch of stuff stuffed into the James Cameron, ready to roll at all times. And we can get straight into it from here. It'll drop us down into the water. It's really, really cool. James Cameron docked, ready for action. Alright, now we need to locate. So that is the Aurora. Directly behind it, of course, as you might remember, was that scary Reaper asshole. So we're not going to go kind of... But the island itself, as you may remember from when we saw it before, is pretty much straight out. So we're going to follow this into the sparse reefs, and then we're just going to kind of stay close to the surface so we can keep an eye out for when we actually spot the island. And as you may have heard me reference it, it is a floating island. And I will show you how that works once we get there, in case you are not already familiar. Yeah, we just need to keep our bearing here. Make sure that we don't stumble into the terrifying waters where we're going to get our... I think that's just the friendly guys with the copper on their back. We're going to hope that's the case. Alright, so we should be seeing it before too terribly long. Oh, actually, we can kind of glitchily see it through the water. It's okay, it works. And I didn't see any, I don't remember seeing any Reapers when I was there, so we're gonna hope that that is just how this works. Otherwise, this could get really scary really quick. There's kind of a convenient beach on one side. Oh, actually, we might have skimmed scarier waters there for a second. And that's always, I found there's kind of a decent place up right here-ish. I like to kind of beach that just in case it wants to like wander off a little bit. The fuck is that? Did something just fall off? Ah, weird. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. This is what actually makes the islands float. And there's actually a bunch of these. Let's see if we can get another one on the radar real quick. Bam, you can see that one's even bigger. It has like a different color to it. But yeah, and then they have like these weird tendril like plant growths that are coming down these spires that are pretty cool. But yeah, these appear to be all that's keeping the island floating, so I thought that was very, very interesting to find out once I actually got here. And we're gonna go ahead and go up here. I'm gonna get my knife out because it turns out Half-Life 3 is this whole planet, not just the Aurora. So we might be seeing some little head crabs around here. As you can see, though, there's at least 2 buildings we can see from here. Oh, actually, I didn't know there was like a little... Oh, it looks like there's a place we can come straight up under the island. I didn't know that. That's actually really, really cool. But yeah, so these were those Degassi people that I briefly mentioned before. And like I said, after we get done with the island stuff here...
Multiple faint energy signatures on the surface.
Okay. So, like I said, after we get done with the island, we'll go ahead and do an episode where we really just focus on reading some of the stuff. We'll read everything that we found from here so you guys can get a little bit of insight into what Degassi actually means. Actually, I think we'll go down to this one here in the middle first. See, there's all kinds of like, you know what? We're gonna start actually really trying to scan some more stuff. I haven't been doing it as much as I've been meaning to, but obviously they've put all this stuff in here. It's really cool stuff to see. It'll give us more stuff to look at next episode. The island might be a 2-parter. It'll just kind of depend on how long it takes us to get through this, but I fucking love this place. Look at this. Oh, yep. Alright, have at thee. We do a sprinting stab. Ugh. Oh, it's not the best. I hear his friend. Where's his friend? You hear that skittering? Alright, I don't know what he's up to. But yeah, you can see that we can actually pick things here. And these are actually the plants that we can go and plant at home. So, for instance, that other one is a little bit better for food if I... Actually, Let's double check that. So this one's better for food and water, but this one actually gives you more per plant, so you can actually grab like 6 at a time rather than the. I think it's only like 1 or 2 that'll grow off one grow of that. Ooh, spotlight. I knew that looked like something. I see we've just got another radio frequency. They had a pretty good view up here too. There's all kinds of cool stuff. There's kind of some little pathways that go around the island. It doesn't really lead to anything other than really cool views. We'll probably come back and take a better look at that another time. Oh, and somehow I almost just forgot to scan this. So this is what's going to allow us to grow plants underwater from different biomes, so that we... Oh shit. So that we don't have to go back to them constantly whenever we need that resource. So for instance, we could grow our own kelp, or we could grow our own blood kelp. Ooh, purple artifact. So you actually use these to open alien stuff. Now, we've only seen that one thing kind of from afar so far. I'll definitely make sure to get you guys a... Oh fuck, he's inside. Little son of a bitch. Oh, I forgot this is the multi-purpose room. Fuck yeah. Alright, so this is where we get kind of a big room that we can actually start doing really cool stuff with. And we're actually going to make a food and water room at the main base, which I will show you. I did it my first time around, and it was an absolute godsend. I can't stress it enough. Actually, don't we start with reinforcement as an option for the base? I just want to make sure that's not something I have to pick up, because we're going to end up needing that. Yep. Alright, cool. We can see here, we've got one of these already open. So, I think whenever you open one of these, all the other... I think some of these have the same thing in them right now. Or, they haven't decided what to put in here yet, but they wanted to have one here so that they could add stuff to it later. In either case, we will find out shortly. Come on, motherfucker. Oh, fuck. Actually had some trouble with that one. More PDAs. That's going to be awesome for next episode. We get some of this living wall. I don't know. I think that might just be cosmetic, but that looks really, really cool. And it can really kind of give your base a little bit more of a nicer vibe than kind of what you're used to. Bulkheads. These allow you to reinforce, and it also, let's say one section of your base springs a leak. This will actually prevent water from spreading to other sections, which is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to put at least a couple in one of the bases. Maybe not our first base. Well, we can probably throw one in the first base since we're about to add the multi-purpose room, which will hurt our hull integrity a little bit. Yeah, basically what those things let us do, I mean, they are so immersive. Like, it is unbelievably cool to play around with those. I wonder if small ones give you less. Oh, they do. That is really interesting. Alright, and actually, I know that there's, well, so, I'm going to admit something to you. My first time playing, I thought that the watermelons were like everything else, and that to harvest, like, the seeds for it, so to speak, you just had to knife it. I think you just have to replant the plant itself, because I knifed it before, and it turned out really, really bad. I ended up with no watermelons, so I just had a billion Chinese potatoes. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, it would have been nice to have a little bit of variety during our time here. We're gonna kind of do a little bit of the Skyrim wall hack there to get up here. I'm sure plenty of you are probably familiar with that maneuver. And again, like these little natural caves, these little natural paths, you get a really cool view of this. We're about to get an amazing view of the Aurora. I mean, just fucking look at that. And I mean, you can really get an understanding now of why there's just so much wreckage spread across this whole area, because it probably blew up somewhere up here and then just sprayed stuff across the land as it went out. And I've noticed there seems to be kind of less wreckage in front of the Aurora, which would absolutely make sense, or at least in my mind. Oh yeah, we scanned all those already. Okay, cool. We're gonna go ahead and head up here. We could do with having some of the crap water. I usually grab some of the crappy fish. Yeah, see, there's another marble melon here as well as. So what we'll do is right before we leave, we'll grab the big one, and actually let me try knifing this. and see if it... Oh wow, it actually gave me seeds that time! What the fuck? I could have swore the first time, like, it just decimated the plant and just ruined it forever. That is a little strange. Alrighty, well that is, I mean, I'm super happy about that, because my first play, maybe I just got a glitch my first playthrough, because my first playthrough, I just completely lost the ability to have melons, and those seem to be pretty good. And this is the observatory I was talking about before that I kind of spoiled a little bit ahead of time. Like I said, I know a really cool place to set one of these up to show you guys kind of the full splendor that you can get out of it. As well as that's a place that I really want to set the next base up at anyway, so it works out for the best. But that'll be really cool once we can get that to happen. And that base, in case you're a little bit curious, is kind of on the wall heading into the Grand Reef. So it's in a place that the only enemies you see really close by are an occasional lurker, an occasional bone shark, or warper, not lurker, sorry. And once you start going down is when you start seeing some of the more scary stuff from what I'd seen, and that's when I kind of cut off with my live stream stuff, because I realized this would make a really good series, and I didn't want to finish the entire game and have kind of no first impressions in these videos, because that would have been a little bit of a shame. This room is really cool. We get the grub basket here. We get the indoor grow bed. This indoor grow bed is what's going to allow us to grow kind of a decent food supply. Voxel shrub, did we get that one already? That, I think we did. Lantern tree, we'll try, and I couldn't get seeds from this before either, so we'll go ahead and try it out and see if we get lucky this time. Or maybe I'm just a noob and I'm supposed to just go plant the fruit. Fucking A. Oh my god, it's so easy. It's so easy, and I made it so hard. Alright, so we've got the fern, we've got the Chinese potatoes, we've got the marble melon seeds. I know this will start going off if we take too long, but just to show you why we're taking the fruit. Bam. Grows a billion of them and gives you just a little bit of food to top yourself off if you need it. And of course, we needed this grow bed, because the grow bed is what allows us to grow all this stuff inside our little base. Oh, and another cheeky PDA. You always gotta love that. You always gotta love that. And we're doing pretty good here. We actually managed to clear it a little bit quicker than I thought we would. Like I said, I have done a little bit of this before, so it did help kind of speed things up a little bit for the first portion of the game. And to be fair, the first portion is the portion that's a little bit more grindier, from what I've noticed. You do need to gather resources later in the game, of course, but it seems like for the most part, you're gathering rarer resources but less of them, so it doesn't feel quite as grindy as, you know, getting a billion titanium. Ooh, Jaffa. But yeah, so we're looking in a really good spot right now. We've got a lot of great blueprints. We got some blueprints that earlier than I got them, which is actually really good, because it was very up and down in my beginning days. I will just openly say that. Alright, so we're gonna try to head kind of straight back for the base, which will put us, actually, it might be worth dipping down into the sparse reefs for a second and seeing if we can find a second wreck. Turn on the light. We should be coming down straight into kind of the deeper portion of it. Oh, here we go. Because, yeah, we're still doing great. Oh, actually. No, we got to get that stuff home before it spoils. We will come back. Because I think there might still be a blueprint or two that we have not managed to get from the sparse reefs. And I know at the edge of the sparse reef going into the Grand Reef, there's a couple blueprints too, because that was where I kind of left off. I built a base there because I could see that there was all kinds of cool stuff. I tested the scanner room there. I might build a scanner room there to show you guys how useful it can be to have one at that location. But once we build another base deeper down, we will pick up the scanner and move it down there, because the scanner room's a little bit expensive and super useful, so we want to make sure that we are making full use of that, but at the same time not busting our balls on resources and making the game harder than it has to be, so to speak. Alpha base coming up here. Oh, I love every fucking time. I love just, if there's anything, like, developers, if you're watching this for some crazy reason, just have them kind of smear a little bit against the windshield when you hit them dead on. Because I love how they splat against it, but I could really do with just a little bit of a I think that would just be the absolute best. And, oh, you can see we're actually at full power right now because we've been zipping around during the day. And so that means while piloting the Seamoth, we will probably never have to put a new thing in there. So, we got some friends. Decided to... Oh, we haven't actually scanned these before. Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know they would just, like, cling onto the vehicle like that. That's great. I was just trying to smash into the group of them. Boop. I think we're going to have 4 of these in the collection now. But that's okay. That's okay. We always love having new friends. Ooh, I'm going to need to make another planter quick. But we will go ahead and put one of those in there. This... Wait, will that actually fit in there? Oh. So I guess we'll just get like a super tiny one maybe? That'd be kind of interesting to see. And of course, we can always harvest that for extra seeds. I'm pretty sure we have enough to go ahead and make a multi-purpose room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I don't know what our hull integrity is at the moment, though, so this might get kind of interesting. Prepare for possible damage to the hull. Let's hope for the best. I know here's the bulkhead I was talking about. It's not too expensive, but obviously we don't have that in our inventory at the moment. Reinforcements also very cheap, but at the same time not in our inventory at the moment. So we're just gonna just super quickly deconstruct this if the worst should happen here. Nope, we're fine. We're fine. I had thought it ahead. I put a couple of these reinforcements down before just to make sure. I think I might have actually put a reinforcement in here earlier just to show that off to you guys, maybe? Actually, I don't see one at the moment, so maybe not. But as you can see, nice big open room that we can actually work with. We might... Nope, we're going to need to grab... Let's go ahead and grab one piece of wreckage, which will let us make a couple of planters in there. I know I've picked a lot of this area apart, but we can probably find one cheeky piece of wreckage. There's always these guys carrying them around for us. I know, I'm the worst. There it is. That's what we needed, and it looks like they're just gonna bless us with a second one. Maybe. And then we can head back and show you guys that. You can get these really big planters that are awesome, and since while we wait for those other 2 plants to grow, we'll just go ahead and dump them full of the watermelons, because I think those have a slightly different grow ratio, so to speak. But obviously they seem to give us way more out of it, so that's totally worth it. You can see we've already got little tiny versions of the plants, and already at 20%. We've only had them out for a couple of minutes, so that's pretty impressive. We're going to have to actually get the stuff out of it, of course. Ooh, wait, can we actually cook melons and stuff? Or have I just found a new fish and just trying to tell me? Let's find out. Yeah, just a new fish. We haven't actually cooked a hoverfish. I picked one up, looked at it, and then like threw it back out because I didn't have the heart to do the dirty, or to, you know, knife him in the face. Or stick him in a machine so that he can be deconstructed. We'll go ahead and put 2 of these, since we have plenty of titanium to do so. And we can even dot a plant pot or 2 in here as well. We want to save room on a couple of these walls for the water purifiers. We might even have to... Actually, we might want to move this over just a hair. See if we can squeeze a little bit of extra room. Because I know those water purifiers take a little bit of space. Get it just right. There we go. And now we will chock this full of watermelons. Wow. Yeah, there we go. You can see we got 4 of them going right there. We'll go ahead and throw another... Oh. We'll go ahead and throw our other Chinese potato in here, just because it doesn't, you know, like, it'll just grow stuff around the base. We'll probably make this one all watermelons, and we'll probably make this one all those cool tree things, just so that, you know, we'll have a nice, really, really cool looking area of the room. And if we have enough, we might even, let's go ahead and throw one of these up. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I can get behind that. Just kind of spruce the place up a little bit. We can always deconstruct it later if we need to move it or something, if it's in our way. And yeah, so that's where we'll go ahead and cut off for today. We'll go ahead and listen to one more message real quick. High priority passengers aboard. Coordinates attached. Landed 1 click from the crash site. Request immediate assistance. Only got 1 rat. Ooh, that's bad news, guys. So you can see we now have another waypoint that's even farther past LifePod 4. I think next time, now that we've actually got our Moonpool, now that we've actually got a kind of solid food supply coming in, and I'll show you guys at the beginning of next episode these like full of stuff and looking amazing. We've still got tons and tons of resources, as you can see. We are doing like really, really well for food. I've even got some of the superfood in the chest if we need it. And now, of course, we don't have to waste our preservable resources like these while we're at home, because we can use our lovely growed stuff. I wasn't here when the farming update came out, but it seems to be just some absolutely, absolutely amazing stuff. So thank you for joining me, guys. We will come back next time and investigate some LifePod signatures, since we haven't done that. Or actually, next episode will be the reading of the stuff, and then if we have time, we'll get to those. Otherwise, we will get to that after we go through the information we've collected so far. Thank you for joining, and I will see you all next time.